Well, good day, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. We're coming to you from the Durham, Raleigh area, and we're gonna do one of my favorite filming locations from one of my favorite baseball movies, Bull Durham. Daze with Jordan the Lion and you all. It begins right now. Here is the house that Susan Sarandon, Annie, lives in.
And the guys are so sweet, they always stay and listen. Of course, a guy will listen to anything if he thinks it's foreplay.
It's actually a historic house here in town, the Manning house. Looks different than in the movie. Colors are a little bit darker, but we see her walking from kind of an angle whenever she's coming and going. Same with when Crash is here, which is Kevin Costner, or Nuke. This is great. I mean, it's a great movie. I always loved Bull Durham, and this is in a lot of the movie because she is basically a woman who, as she describes it, the movie starts inside her house, and she says, I've tried religions and I just can't find one that I completely agree with, so baseball is basically her religion. She says there's 108 beads on a rosary and 108 stitches on a ball.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones, but it just didn't work out between us. The Lord laid too much guilt on me.
And so she says at the very, very beginning of the movie, when she's walking through this house and walking out the door, that every year she picks a player basically to sleep with for the entirety of the season, and she always picks, obviously like the best one. She said never a guy that would hit under 250.
Never been a ball player slept with me who didn't have the best year of his career. Besides, I'd never sleep with a player hitting under 250, unless he had a lot of RBIs or was a great glove man up the middle.
We see her, like I said, she walks off at an angle.
You see, there's a certain amount of life wisdom I give these boys. Sometimes when I've got a ball player alone, I'll just read Emily Dickinson or Walt Whitman to him. Whenever
she comes and goes from here, but then she brings Tim Robbins, who plays Nuke, and Kevin Costner, who plays Crash. She brings them both back here after she meets them, and they kind of think it's going to be a menage a trois, and she tells them in there her deal, basically that she picks a boyfriend. It usually takes her a couple of weeks, much like a spring training, but then she picks a guy to be with for the season. And Kevin Costner stands up and has that great speech where he's like, yeah, I don't do things like this when it comes to matters of the heart.
After 12 years in the minor leagues, I don't try out. Besides, I don't believe in quantum physics when it comes to matters of the heart.
He goes on with that whole, like, I believe Oswald acted alone, I believe in the sweet spot, I believe in softcore pornography. He goes into all the things that he believes and everything, and then he
I believe there ought to be a constitutional amendment outlawing AstroTurf and the designated hitter. I believe in the sweet spot, softcore pornography, opening your presents Christmas morning rather than Christmas Eve.
He starts walking out of here because he's find out he's a romantic. So then we see the house again when, of course, she ties Tim Robbins to the bed and reads poetry to him here. But when he's having trouble and can't pitch and is losing games, they go to the backyard here, and that's where she's having him pitch, and he's complaining that this isn't going to help him or anything. So would have been back in there because you can actually see the back of the house.
Fire one in here!
This is ridiculous. I'm a professional.
Will you just give it a try and lean in?
Tim Robbins won't sleep with her because he's winning. He's on a winning streak, and Crash told him, oh, you don't want to do anything to disrupt the streak. So then he comes back here knocking on her door again, and he's got his dad with him. He wants to introduce his dad to her, and while they're here, they get a phone call because everybody knows who she is and everybody knows what she does every year, and they knew that he would be here. They call and let him know that he's getting called up to the big show. The show, as Crash always calls it. So she ends up eventually, you know, she had already told Crash, Kevin Costner, by now that she wants him. And once Nuke leaves, she tells Nuke, I know you're not coming back. You know, they never do. She ends up sleeping with Crash here. She has that big scene with Kevin Costner in here where they're basically going room to room, having sex everywhere on the tables and everything. And then we see her tied up to the bed because he's reading Walt Whitman and poetry to her. And then at the you know, at the very end, he gets word that he is being released. They no longer, even though he's right on the verge of breaking the home run record for the minor leagues, and really only she and he know that, they drop him. So he ends up coming back here, and she comes walking up the side of the house, and when she does, she looks in the glass up here, and she notices that he's sitting up there, sitting right up that banister. And he tells her that he's basically been fired, been released. He doesn't really know what he's gonna do. Comes back to her here, and then basically tells her, hey, you know, maybe I can get a coaching position. They tell me there's one in Visalia next year. So it's a great movie. I mean, it's definitely the story of the minor leagues. There's always going to be guys that are superstars that make it, and some that don't, and some that were really good, and just at the time the team didn't need that position, or, you know, in his case, he was such a great catcher that he was good with young emerging talent, and so he never really got a shot and ended up making his way as a coach. That's kind of what they allude to. But Kevin Costner said after this movie, when he was asked to do Field of Dreams, he was immediately up for it. People tried to stop him. They're like, you can't keep doing baseball movies. You can't do 2 baseball movies in a row. And he said, I don't feel like Field of Dreams is really a baseball movie. He said, it's got a baseball theme, but I'm not a baseball player really in it, and it's more about relationships. He said, this, Bull Durham, was a baseball movie. Now, they film most of the baseball scenes in one place, and it's very recognizable throughout the whole movie. It's got like that yellow trim in inside the park, so I'm hoping we can get over there and check it out and see inside of it. You're with me too, aren't you? This is the Durham Athletic Park, and this is where they filmed all of primarily all the baseball scenes. Pretty much everything. See if there's a way in. Yes, the team really still is the Durham Bulls. So they were nice enough to let me come in and take a look around. This is where all the main stuff was filmed. You can tell by the dugout. Look at all that yellow and everything in there. The girls actually sat right there. Susan Sarandon. That was the Players' Wives section.
Hang on, Millie. Here we go again.
That we see them passing notes down to here. The way I could tell is, I mean, obviously you could see there's some shots of them like this. There was a barbecue sign that was right there that matched up. So yeah, this is where pretty much all of the baseball scenes where he is going out to the mound and telling him what pitches to pitch, and then tipping off the batters. Kevin Costner's tipping off the batters.
Calling me meat. I'm the guy driving a Porsche.
Fastball.
Max Patkin, that's the other thing I love, because you get a lot of shots like right here to where you can see like the bending of the park to know that they were in this dugout.
Thanks, Skip. Two step Max, hell of a guy.
I love that, man. That is just so cool. But yeah, Max Patkin, the Clown Prince of Baseball, does his whole dance and everything down here at home plate. They're actually getting this ready for a high school game, they told me, so I was lucky to get here when I did. Background has definitely changed. That was not there at the time. But the wedding also took place out here, the pitcher's mound. I love the fact that this looks so similar. Up there's where the guy would have been calling the game. They show him a couple of times.
Fastball.
The opposing team would have been over there. I couldn't get into the locker rooms because they were all locked up, but I kind of do think they would have been filmed here, because if you look at those style of windows, when the coach comes down to find Nuke and he's banging the girl in the shower, you can see those windows, those style of windows.
Damn, War. Jesus, Eppy, this is your professional debut tonight. Million guys give their left nut to be in your shoes.
So it's probably was filmed here. Would make sense. Over here's the parking section when they're always getting on and off the bus or coming back from a trip and someone's waiting for them.
I mean it.
Good thinking, Ja. He just told me, hey, don't you think you should go over to where they play now? They might have some memorabilia over at the modern park where the Durham Bulls play. Good idea. It's close by too. There's the Lucky Strike Towers and a Bull Durham ad for Bull Durham tobacco. And I did have to come over to the new park because I did remember also, Ja was right, the billboard that everybody hits to win the free steak, they moved out here. So that's what that is. All right, I was able to work my way down. It says, hit bull, win steak. Hit grass, win salad.
Gotta get some free steak.
Nice throwback to the movie. Remember, if it got hit, its eyes would light up and everything. Wait, so Crash Davis was a real name? That was a real person? I'm noticing they have historical plaques outside as I'm walking in. There is actually one for Crash Davis. Led the league in doubles in 1948. Name inspired the movie Bull Durham. Huh. Oh wow. The great Roger Craig, his dreams started when he was a bat boy for the Durham Bulls. Over there where we were already at. Here's their park. Their little stores over here. They even retired his number. Starting out with an inflatable bull. Maybe I'll get a hat. The lollygaggers. He says that in the movie. There's the classic. That bull in the back is all they had, but I'm glad they have it. It's a great nod to the movie. Now we're gonna head out of the Raleigh-Durham area and go film some more of the road trips, when they would take the road trips. Yep, we are back in Greensboro. So here in Greensboro, they filmed part of the road trip that the Durham Bulls take, and they show actually the front of this as the bus is pulling in right up here, and that's when the announcer is saying that they're in the middle of a 6-game losing streak.
The Bulls will attempt to end a 6-game losing streak against the Greensboro Hornets.
And old Nuke is having some problems in this this game. Get a couple of shots from inside, and I noticed that they happen to have the doors open, so maybe we can go in and take a look, because we do see Tim Robbins walking after having a bad game, walking down a tunnel. Maybe we can match up some of that. And just cool to see inside of a filming location, because this is another one of those scenes that they had Max Patkin, the Clown Prince of Baseball, performing. So when Tim Robbins is leaving the field, I'm guessing they would have done it over there for the visitor team, because every home game they're over here, so he would be leaving the visitor side. And actually you can see some of the houses in the background. They're kind of covered up by trees now, but at the time of filming you could see the houses in the background. Right up there's where Tim Robbins be having his rough game.
That closes the book on the loose today. 5 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 5 wild pitches.
Here you can see the stands. Now it makes sense that they would have filmed it over here, like I said, but I think from what I could see rewatching the footage, I think they actually did it over here. I think they had him walking down that tunnel over here after a rough outing. Even though the gates were clear and everything, I think the clubhouse was right there. So when he gets mad and he's leaving after that rough outing at the end of the game, he actually would have been walking through here.
It's time to tell it like it is, sports fans, and this is the most...
Pretty cool that the old park is still here and being used right now by a team. Plus, I just love checking out an old stadium, an old park. Well, my friends, we are gonna call it a day for the Bull Durham filming locations. I hope you enjoyed everything we saw. Thank you for watching. It's a great movie. Have a great night and goodbye.